Hello, I'm your friend Zachmax. Welcome to the fan fiction of Death Note Season 2. It had been 20 years since the end of the Kira investigation. The world enjoyed an era of unprecedented peace, largely thanks to L's successor, Nier, also known as Nate River. Nier, now a father, had a child named Carmen Grace. Much like her father, Carmen was exceptionally intelligent. She graduated college at the age of 12 and spoke fluently in Japanese, French, Russian, and English. Carmen Grace was a prodigy, beloved by her father, and she couldn't imagine life without him. From a young age, she dreamed of working alongside him, solving the world's most complex cases. But let me start from the beginning. I am a Shinigami named Kira. It's no coincidence. When I was alive, my name was Light Yagami. I still remember when Ryuk told me that users of the Death Note neither go to heaven nor hell. I saw Ryuzaki when I died. He was wearing his usual white sweater and blue jeans. He offered me his hand to go with him. That was when I knew I was dead. Shortly after, Ryuk took me to the Shinigami realm. Whether he did or I was transported there somehow, I didn't know. But when I woke up, Ryuk was standing over me. "What is this place?" I asked him. "Welcome to the Shinigami's world. I welcome you, Light," Ryuk replied. "Don't you ever dream of being able to go to heaven or hell after using the Death Note?" "Huh?" I smirked. At the time, I thought I was going to be a Shinigami. Well, it was one of the patterns I was guessing. I stood up. "What will happen to me?" "I can kind of guess since I'm all the way here in the Shinigami world." "Don't rush, it'll start in due time," Ryuk cut me off. "Start what?" I asked, genuinely curious. "What will?" I couldn't finish my sentence because an extreme pain gripped my chest. I clutched my heart. "What is this?" "My chest is." I was cut off again by a loud, ringing voice. "Otoharada Kuro, heart attack. I died again. What's going on?" "Shibui Maru Takuo, car accident," the voice said. I was then hit by a truck. "Can't be whoever I killed so far." "You noticed?" Ryuk asked. "That's right. As much as you killed others, you'll suffer the same pain. If you killed 10,000 people, you'll die 10,000 times. That is the atonement of whoever uses the Death Note." "No way," I was in disbelief. "Did you think you can become a Shinigami too?" Ryuk smirked at me. "Masora Naomi, suicide," the voice said. "What is this voice? Who is?" "It's the king of the Shinigami's voice. Only that old fart's Death Note can kill the same human over and over again," Ryuk said in an annoyed tone. "I can't control my hand." My hand was moving by itself up to my throat. "Ryuk, please stop this. Do something. Save me, Ryuk." My hand was tightening its grasp on my throat. "No use," Ryuk said, laughing. "You'll experience all the deaths and will disappear in the end. Disappear from your body and soul, even from people's memories and the records in the human world. Completely." I was scared. "No," I yelled. "I don't want to die anymore. I'm choking." I fell to the ground with a thud. A second later, I was alive again. I stood up and started to laugh. What was so funny to me? I had killed 124,925 people. I had 124,925 more deaths to go before I disappeared. I looked over at Ryuk, and he looked at me like I had gone mad. 124,925, I explained. "What?" Ryuk asked. "The number of people who I have killed so far? Experience all the deaths and disappear, huh?" I looked him straight in the eye. "Meaning as long as I'm experiencing those deaths, I will exist." "Well, it's true." Ryuk was somewhat speechless. "That will be more than enough time." I was scheming already. "Light, what are you thinking?" Ryuk asked. "I shall look for the king of Shinigami and make a deal with him." I smiled. "Instead of warranting my safety, I'll lend him my intelligence. I'll give him an amazing strategy to rebuild the Shinigami's rotten world." "I don't think that old fart would be interested in that," Ryuk said uneasily. "Who do you think I am, Ryuk? I'm the guy who almost became the god of the human world. I'll just wheedle him. I can even kill the king, if needed." The joy I once felt when I was saving the world from evil surged through my veins once again. Human versus Shinigami, a battle for the summit. I'm not done yet. I'll amaze you even more, Ryuk. Ryuk grinned happily and started to laugh. "Let us go, Ryuk. I'll show you the genesis of the new world once again." About 4 deaths later, we met with the Shinigami King and settled that I would become a Shinigami, as long as the Shinigami world was rebuilt. I chose the name Kira, because that was what I was most famous for when I was human. I didn't disappear off the face of Earth like Misa or Higuchi. Along with becoming a Shinigami, I asked the Shinigami King for 2 death notes as a condition. The Shinigami King didn't mind. I made the Shinigami world a better place. This story isn't about me. It's about Carmen, Grace, and Nier, her father. Let me tell you their story. You'll find it quite interesting. April 4th, a new chapter begins. I had dropped one of my notebooks into the human realm, but not just anywhere. I chose a very specific place so little Carmen Grace could find it. You see, I wanted to screw Nier over. He thought I was destined for hell, but I didn't go there. No, I went somewhere far better than heaven or hell, and now it's my turn to mess with him. It was the year 2030. Nier was 39 years old, and his precious daughter Carmen Grace was 14, the perfect age for the fun to start. After all, Nier was about that age when he got pulled into the Kira investigation. The family lived in a small city in Maryland, USA. Carmen Grace's mother? Well, I killed her with one of my death notes. No big deal. I dropped the notebook in a place only she knew about. You might call me a stalker, but I'd been watching her for a while. I knew her routines, her likes, her darkest secrets. I dropped it at her tree. Her father planted an oak tree for her when she was younger, and ever since, she'd visit it every day for an hour. She'd read, draw, and sometimes listen to music. But on that fateful day of April 4th, everything changed. "Father, I'm going to the tree," Carmen Grace said, eager to finish her intriguing book on physics. "Okay, R. Be careful," her father replied. R was his special nickname for her, a little play on the sounds in her name. Carmen Grace, or R, left the house carrying a heavy book and headed toward the tree. It stood on a round hill overlooking their house. They didn't live in the countryside, though. Her father had a skyscraper built with a small outside in it, accommodating over 60 people, and even hiding 2 helicopters on the roof, kind of like Elle's safe house. But this place was R's home and school, too. Most of the scenery was holographic. The birds, the bright sun, the blue skies, all just projections. But the tree and the hill were real, and on April 4th, R found something real, too, a little black notebook. "What's this?" she murmured. R picked up the notebook, reading the words on its cover. Death Note. Death Note, as in a notebook of death? She flipped to the first page. "The human whose name is written in this note shall die. This note will not take effect unless the writer has the person's face in their mind when writing his/her name. Therefore, people sharing the same name will not be affected." What a weird note, she mused, reading the other rules silently. From the Shinigami world, I jumped down to the human realm, landing right near her. I think she heard me because she looked up, completely unafraid. "Hello," I greeted her. "I am the Shinigami Kira." "Let me guess, you're here to get your notebook back?" R asked, her tone bored. "Actually," I grinned, "this notebook is yours now. As soon as a death note arrives in the human realm, the person who picks it up becomes its new owner." "So, this death note is mine?" she asked. "If you don't want it, you can give it back to me or pass it to someone else. But if you do, I'll have to erase your memories of it," I said, sounding a bit like Ryuk. "Was I specifically chosen for this?" R asked, locking eyes with me. "In a way, yes, but I could also say I was bored," I said, nostalgia creeping into my smile. "Do you have any plans to use the death note?" "Kira, I actually do. I must be crazy to think like this," R said, looking down at the black notebook in her hands. "Tell me. I don't think you're that crazy," I encouraged her. After all, at 14, she was bound to have some interesting ideas. "I want to clean up this world, clean up the criminals, and maybe even—" R trailed off. "Maybe even what?" I asked, intrigued. "Maybe even become the ruler of this sorry world," R said with a sinister smile. "Are there any other rules I should know about?" "You must never reveal the existence of the Death Note. I'll tell you more as we go along." That 4th day of April changed Carmen Grace's life. Forever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for part 2.